Alright guys, so we've just been given a new artifact. Season of the Splicer. And some of these points are overloads, all that basic stuff, but they're giving us mods from past seasons, Charged with Light, and also Charged with Light, but this one is a Warmind Cell mod. This one's also a Warmind Cell mod. So, thinking about those things, decided to put together a Warmind Cell build, and this one is pure ad clear. Straightforward. You're just trying to kill as many things as possible for your fire team. Whether that be you could cycle some champion things in here with some overload things if you want to run an overload barrier, things like that. But this is how I'd run it, and I've left some spots blank because I am not at the end of my artifact yet. So the ones we're going to take advantage of here are Breach and Clear. This is probably the best mod that we have this season. You're going to run this on all kinds of things in endgame content. So Unstoppables, you've got the grenade launcher here, grenade launcher scavenger for one, blast radius gives you charge with light with your grenade launcher dexterity. Just everything kind of revolves around grenade launchers this season, and that's great. I love grenade launchers. I'm really missing Marty's right now, but we'll cycle back to that in a second. So let's start with the head. And hopefully you guys have Warmind Cell mods. If you don't, you will have a chance to get them from Ada and Banshee. Now, for the first thing, the Rage of the Warmind. In addition to the other solar damage that we have, you're going to add additional solar damage to the explosions of Warmind cells when they get destroyed. So this is just going to make them hit harder so that they kill things. This is kind of an alt, like, it's good. If you really wanted to, you could just add global reach on here so that it boosts as far as the Warminds can be taken. If you wanted to incorporate Charge with Light, you could flex this out and run the Urgent Ordnance. That way you can use a rocket launcher. You just have to sub something else out for Charge with Light. But so we're adding solar damage to the head. You can throw on some ammo finders. This one is the new seasonal mod that I don't have unlocked yet, but this is the Warmind's Decree. The Warmind's Decree states that void splash damage final blows have a chance to create Warmind cells. Splash damage, void, deafening whisper. And I would put something like minor spec on there or even major spec, but mine's got ambitious assassin and wellspring. And this being a wave frame, one shot, and this projectile releases a wave of energy, and it'll be void energy along the ground. This is essentially the second round of Marty's Retribution. So, since we don't have Marty's to create Warmind cells just innately, we have to add another mod on our arms, which is Warmind's Decree. So, splash damage from the void weapons will do this for us. Moving on, sticking with the solar theme. So this is destroying Warmind cells creates a burst of healing for you and allies near you. So I think this is a pretty generous radius too, but just the fact that you're going to be creating so many Warmind cells, and if you keep destroying them, it's going to keep healing you, just improving survivability for those endgame contents. And again, if you're running this build, you're just for ad clear. Like you're designed to be in the fray. You're not really paying attention to the mechanics of what you're doing unless it's one of the overloads or anti-barriers. So just shoot stuff, blow it up big. Takes us to the next one. This is the Burning Cells, which adds the solar damage to the burst when destroying a Warmind cell. And it's 3, so you can put scavenger mods on here. Some of the more expensive scavenger mods will still work because you're going to be using rocket launchers and the grenade launchers. So 3 is perfect. I can do it with 9. Anyway, this one, your class item will be, mine's completely blank, because you're going to need all 10 slots. I don't think it's going to matter what affinity it is, but this is where we're going to put the big ones. Breach and Clear, that costs 9. And then the Hammer of the Warmind. So detonating Warmind cell will stun combatants. This is going to work for Unstoppables and Overload champions. So, while you're just in the fray, busting stuff up, you've got burning cells on. It's going to take out the little minions. And this one is going to be the void. So you're creating more with the wave frame, blowing it up, creating solar damage, healing yourself. And like I said, if you wanted to swap this out, this is just enhanced solar damage. You could swap this out for global reach, so that is extremely far away from where the target is. But all that together, that's a pretty great ad clear build. And it's pretty straightforward. Like, you're not worrying about being charged with light. You're not trying to do a specific instance that makes you charged with light. You're just using weapons that create Warmind cells and blowing up those Warmind cells. And if you see a champion, you're shooting it with either the anti-barrier or overload, or if you feel, blow up a Warmind cell near it. To create these Warmind cells, you've got a lot of option. You've got 7th Seraph weapons, like the 7th Seraph Officer Revolver, which is one of my faves. The 7th Seraph Carbine. I've got mine with auto-loading Vorpal. Does amazing for those chunky enemies, those yellow bars. Extended mag on it gives me 40, and I'm a hunter, so I can dodge to reload. But you combine that with the 2 bursts you'll get with Ambitious Assassin, so you can use your dodge there, get a kill, reload, swap back to the 7th Seraph, because within 2 grenades from this Deafening Whisper, you've hit at least 2 enemies, unless you whiffed one, and then you still probably hit 2 enemies because it's a wave frame. One of them probably dropped a Warmind cell, so you pop up here, shoot it with your 7th Seraph. You can go ahead and just throw a 3rd grenade at it, whatever, it'll blow up and it'll still activate all these things, healing yourself, burning cells. The grenade itself is going to do more damage because of the breach and clear mods, so that's great, because once you hit the enemy, it'll reload your stowed weapons, but it'll also cause the combatants to take increased damage for a short duration. So that leaves the heavy. Like with these things, you can run Anarchy. Then that's just icing on whatever cake you're doing. Like, literally. It's also a grenade. So your breach and clear is still going to work on it. Using grenade launcher damaging bosses, damaging champions, or breaking a combatant's shield reloads the stowed weapons. If there's any void at all, then you're going to use the wave frame to take care of that with void. But if there is arc, you could plug somebody with this, reload everything, and just keep going. If you didn't want to run that, we have a lot of option for grenade launchers that are not exotic. So you could use something like the Interference. It's got Clown Cartridge full court. For something like Atheon, it's going to be far away. Spike grenades. Perfect. I'm just cranking them. If you don't want to run a 7th Seraph weapon here, and you literally just want to rely on your Void Splash damage to create Warmind cells, swap this out, put Chain Reaction Code Duello, which is solar, so solar splash damage. Swap this puppy out with Solar Splash damage. Final blows have a chance to create Warmind cells. Boom. So now, swapping over, Solar Splash damage, creating Warmind cells. Come over here. You can use Izanagi's. You want to use the new Stasis weapon? Go for it. Sidearm and grenade launcher. It's going to be amazing. freezing people so that they're all clumped together, and then you're breaking them with this. Using your stasis classes, giving you bonuses while you're near frozen targets. You get recovery and resistance. Shattering crystals temporarily grants a grenade increase. Using a grenade wall, more resistance. Slowing combatants. That's perfect. Screw it, you want to use Huckleberry. You just want to run fast, shoot lots of bullets. Perfect. Also, it's a submachine gun, so you're stunning those overload champions. Wither Horde and something like the Ikelos. You don't need Void anymore, but hey, that'll work. Whenever your Wither Horde kills something while you have a 7th Seraph out, that counts as a 7th Seraph kill. So once you get 7 of those between your Wither Horde, which has auto-loading, and then your 7th Seraph, which has auto-loading and Vorpal, you just keep switching back and forth. You've got Warmind cells everywhere. Blow them up with a Code Dweller rocket launcher and chain reaction. You've got solar splash damage, creating more Warmind cells. And since you've blown up Warmind cells, you've got Fire Team Medic. So there's just a lot of synergy now. Warmind cells were great before, but now you're giving us the ability to stun champions with them and do heavy damage with the breach and clear. And overload champions are gonna just get annihilated by the wave frame. We got a feeling you get that one grenade on them and it's gonna just, they're gonna be stuck. If you got spike grenades on something, like if you're just using Anarchy, this breach and clear is gonna do amazing work on champions combined with the Hammer of the Warmind and just all around Warmind cell builds. That's a quick and dirty Warmind cell build to help you guys get along. And remember, this one's going to be the tricky one because you've got a regular class item that's going to allow you to stun champions with Warmind cells, but this is the big one that's going to cost 9. So that's a huge investment to get breach and clear on your class item. But it's going to be worth it, guys.